What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So, Todd McShay just released his top 32 prospects in the 2023 NFL Draft. Obviously, an updated version of it. We're going to go through it today. But go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. As always, special thanks to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. If you like to take your fantasy, blend it in with a little sports betting, then check out Underdog Fantasy. When you use promo code Broshmo, they will match whatever you put in up to $100. You put in 50, they throw an extra 50. Ain't that wonderful? It's beautiful. I love it. But remember, my friends, bet responsibly. Let's go ahead and get into this sucker with number one, because he says he has a new number one overall, and it is Bryce Young. Oh, let the haters come out. Let the haters bathe. Oh, man. Oh, he's so small. Hey, listen, I get it. He has size concerns. It is what it is. You might, if you're off the Bryce Young train because of size, I understand. I completely get it. I'm really going out on a limb saying he would be the exception to the rule. Typically, he doesn't fit into this prototypical quarterback size, and he is pretty darn undersized, so there's going to be a lot of concerns that come with that. But I'm willing to bet, based on how this kid throws the football, how this kid extends plays with his feet, how he sees the field, that he can overcome those size concerns. He's probably going to be my number one. I'm a sucker for Bryce Young. Let's go ahead and see what number two has for us. It's Will Anderson. So I feel like Jalen Carter's probably number three here. Whatever combination you have of Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, they're the best two non-quarterback prospects in this class. I get it. Pass rush, edge rusher seems a bit more valuable than a defensive interior pass rush. So I understand that. I get that. Some people worry about, I guess, the size of Will Anderson, 6'4", 243, but his play strength totally makes up for it. It's fine. I'm not too worried. I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, this dude had, over 200 pressures in the last 3 seasons for the Crimson Tide. So, yeah, he's kind of legit. And imagine we get Jalen Carter right here. Here he is. Jalen Carter is wonderful. Dude obliterated the TCU offensive line. Matter of fact, if you were wearing a Bulldog uniform, you were obliterated in that TCU defensive line. But this guy, or offensive line, but Carter was consistently beating double teams. You saw the explosiveness, you saw the disruption. I absolutely love freaking Jalen Carter. I'm really going to consider this guy potentially my number two over Will Anderson. It's going to be close. Then number 4, oh my gosh, CJ Stroud. Yo, me and Todd, dude. I think we're like this. We just get it. We understand. Like, I love CJ Stroud. I get it. Teams and people are going to be like, I really, like, under pressure, at least statistically this season, he wasn't that good. Though, when it came to the biggest stage of them all, the playoffs, he was able to extend plays. He was able to make throws under pressure, and he looked exceptionally good against Georgia, especially considering how, Max Duggan and TCU looked. So I love Stroud, man. This cat can throw dots. I think he's got a reasonably good arm, very good delivery. So, yeah, I feel like he's probably going to be my number 4 as well when I release my big board sometime next week. And then Tyree Wilson coming in here, number 5. This is a little high for me, but not much. I get it. They're going to love this guy's length. They're going to love his movement skills for a cat that is 275 pounds. He is a very good run defender who just needs a bit more polish as a pass rusher. I feel like Miles Murphy will test out better than him. And while he doesn't have the production that Tyree Wilson does, that Murphy doesn't have the production Wilson has had in the last 2 seasons. I still kind of lean Murphy, but Wilson is a close edge rusher 3 for me now that Jared Verse decided to go back to Florida State. I'll see you in 2024, Jared Verse. Then Peter Skoronski coming here at number 6. Listen, however you view Peter Skoronski, and I was talking to Alex from Henry Sports about this because we talk a lot about prospects. However you view, let me get this gum out my mouth. I don't know why I started the video with freaking gum in my mouth, but it is what it is. If you feel like he doesn't have the plus power for the NFL level, or the high-end athleticism you expect from a top tackle, or lacks the ideal arm length, even if you view him as an interior prospect, I would say he's just a tier below a Quentin Nelson, who went, 4th overall, 5th overall, something like that. So I would put him at least in that conversation. That's why, I still consider Peter Skoronski a top offensive tackle prospect. I think he deserves a shot at tackles, given what we've seen at the collegiate level the last 3 seasons. He is a master technician. All right, here comes Myles Murphy, number 7 on his list. I love Myles Murphy, man. He's not nearly as polished as a pass rusher, but it kind of is what it is. It really is. For me, he's going to test out extremely well, very on par with Travon Walker, except for he has much better production than Travon Walker did. I think he is more polished than Travon Walker was, and Travon Walker ended up going 1st overall. I think we need to talk about Myles Murphy as a top 5 prospect, and he probably will be for me. All right, who's number 8? Brian Brazee. Either love him or hate him. I like Brian Brazee. Listen, I think he opens up a lot of production for the guys around him. Guys like Tyler Davis, Xavier Thomas, Rook. You got even Myles Murphy himself. He opens up a lot of production for the guys around him, KJ Henry. But this cat's going to test out extremely well. He knows how to grind out reps. Awareness might be a thing for some people, that he doesn't always know where the ball is in the backfield or where the play is in the backfield when he gets there, but he has the ability to get there. There's no denying that, man. The dude has the talent. I love it. I view him as a top 10 prospect. And then number 9, Bijan Robinson. Straight up, I get it. Bijan is a blue chip running back prospect. Problem is, running back prospect. That's the thing. Running back prospect. Running backs aren't going high in the NFL draft anymore. We are not in a running back driven league. Teams feel fine getting by with committee backfields. They find it more cost effective. We've seen big deals handed out to running backs, and teams usually regret those deals. They really do. It's just been the case. And so, I don't think Bijan goes, he has a good chance. I think he's capable of going in the top 10. I personally wouldn't take him in the top 10 just because of running back value. But this cat is a bull that knows how to ballroom dance. He's so good in close quarters. I love his explosiveness. Big fan of Bijan Robinson. Number 10, Paris Johnson. Now, this is the guy that'll probably jump Peter Skoronski for top tackle in this class. And again, that depends on how you view Peter Skoronski. If you're looking for a tackle and you don't feel like Skoronski is going to be more of an interior guy, then you're going to go Paris Johnson. Paris Johnson, he has the size, he has the length, he has the athletic ability. He showcased all that this season there at Ohio State. I'm a big fan of this cat's game. He's a great human being on top of that. Great locker room guy. So I'm all for that. I think he's a top 10 guy. Then here's Michael Mayer coming in at number 11. Now, he's going to get knocked for speed. He's not Kyle Pitts, guys. He's not. And I don't think no one's confusing him for Kyle Pitts. And that's why I don't think he'll probably go I don't think he'll go top 10. But in that 11 to 20 range, I fully expect him to come off the board because he's everything else. I really do think TJ Hawkinson is a really good comp for Michael Mayer. This dude just a plus run blocker, a guy that knows how to get open using his length and his body, consistent chain mover, and tough to bring down after the catch, sure hands. Big fan of Michael Mayer. And then Quentin Johnston. Listen, if you think he had a bad game against freaking Georgia, turn on the tape. Really, he was beating guys. He couldn't help it that, that Max Duggan couldn't get him the ball. Couldn't help that. Like, he had I think one catch, and it was off a screenplay. And then the two on, not even on target passes. He had one where dude was draped over him. It was pass interference. I forgot. I think it was Tyke Smith in the slot on a short slant, draped all over him. Other one, downfield, overthrown, turned into interception. Quentin Johnston wasn't really given a chance to shine in the national championship game, unfortunately, but he's got prototypical X wide receiver size, good long field speed. I think he's going to test out on the 4.4s, and dude is a monster at the catch point. Very competitive, very strong catcher. I'm a big fan of Quentin Johnston. All right, one more we got up here. Will Levis here at 13. Here it is. I think this is actually a good spot for Will Levis. Listen, no one's going to deny this guy has all the tools to be an elite quarterback at the NFL level. The question is, can he get it right between the ears? The decision-making wasn't always great this year. He did force some passes, but to be fair, he wasn't always given the best windows. But, I mean, given the situation, like, honestly, I don't think he made that many turnover-worthy plays, or at least turnover-worthy throws. The thing was, just the big time throws weren't there. They really weren't. If you look at his, do I have it up here somewhere? I don't. I can pull it up. If you look at his adjusted completion percentage, it's actually not half bad. It really isn't. Like, his adjusted completion percentage, 75.6%. If you don't know what adjusted completion percentage is, it's basically they take out spikes, throwaways, and drops. So you get the truest form of how on target this guy is. And to be fair, I mean that's better than like a CJ Stroud in this class. It's just CJ Stroud was hitting big time throw after big time throw. Now, Will Levis did lose a lot of talent this past season, unfortunately. Really did. But again, can he get it down between the ears? Because unfortunately, a lot of his turnover-worthy plays were very negligible. Like, they were picks, they were fumbles, they were pick sixes. It just wasn't good. It was pretty ugly. But we know this dude's got the arm velocity. He's got the arm strength. He's got the arm talent in general. He's got prototypical size. He's got a good build, quick release. He's got good mobility. Again, sturdy build. He comes from an offense that is very translatable to the NFL game. There's all these pluses about him. So who's going to take that lotto ticket when it comes to Will Levis? That'll be the question. I kind of like him in this spot. He's going to creep into my top 20 because, well, the rest of this draft isn't so hot at the quarterback position. Jordan Addison here at 14. Didn't have the Blinknikov type of production he did at Pittsburgh, but I think it's fine. He showed he could win on the outside. This is a guy that can stretch the field both vertically and horizontally. He's a separator. He just knows how to get open, and he's got make you miss, catch me if you can speed. You love it. You just love it. So team that's looking for that, they're going to want it. And then first corner up here is Joey Porter. He's not my first corner if you checked out my cornerback rankings already, but Joey Porter, man, was very good this season. Like, shut down. Like, teams were ignoring Joey Porter's side of the football, or side of the field, and you love to see it. He had 9 pass breakups this season. Very solid. No picks. To be fair, wasn't thrown to a lot though. As you can see here, his 3.7 yards allowed per attempt ranked 4th in the nation. His 37.9 forced incompletion rate was the best among the FBS. So you love to see it. He's going to be in the talk as, like, I think a lot of these corners are going to be in the talk for top 20. Matter of fact, here comes my number one, Christian Gonzalez. This dude's just, I think he's going to test out solid. I think he's just a butterly? Is that a word? He's a smooth as butter athlete. Let's go with that. I like his press man technique. I love his ability to read, and he showed in the second half of the season that he could turn those forced incompletions into interceptions and really make offenses pay the price for throwing his way. He's got the size, he's got the length, I think he's got the speed, dude. I think he's going to be very good. And then number 17, Keely Ringo, man. We're just rolling through corners at this point. And Keely Ringo, I will admit, man, he had a nasty press. And I want to see this cat. I wanted to see him play more press at Georgia, but he was playing a lot of off ball. But he had a nasty press where Quentin Johnston really struggled to get off of the line. Like, that first 5 yards was rough, man. Keely Ringo, like, he's got very good speed for his size. You're going to question his lateral ability, but I mean, that was kind of a question mark with Tyreek Woolen, and you tell me how that turned out. Like, I'm a big fan of Keely Ringo. And then, number 18, Anton Harrison. We're going to just skip Broderick Jones here. I like Anton Harrison, man. He's a guy that is learning to get stronger. He is know that his weakness was his play strength, and we saw improvements upon that this year. Still, I think it's gonna be something that's gonna be, when he gets to the NFL play strength, it's gonna be a bit rough. It's gonna be a bit rough. But his quick, his mirroring ability, his quick feet, his just ability as a pass protector is just solid, man. This is a guy that's gonna be very close, if not sneak into my top 20 when I pull out my big board. And then Cam Smith, here we go. Corners keep flying. I'm curious where Todd has Devon Witherspoon. This guy, I think he's very flexible. I think he could really play in any scheme in the NFL. He is a bit too handsy sometimes, a bit overtly physical, but again, I'd rather take a corner who is overtly physical and teach them to be less physical rather than vice versa. At least he's got that nature in him. He's a very fluid athlete who is just strong during the route, strong at the catch point, has created a lot of forced incompletions. Big fan of Cam Smith. He kind of gets lost when we talk about top corners in this class. And then here's Broderick Jones, man. Broderick Jones had a stellar game, by the way, in the national championship. Stellar year all around. You love his strength. I'm kind of curious, how will he deal with those powerful edge rushers that have a little quicks to their game? We saw Isaiah McGuire kind of give him the business a bit early on in the season, but I'm a big fan of this cat, man. His feet could be a bit more fluid. It is a bit clunky, but in terms of length, athleticism, play strength, he ticks all those boxes. Just needs to clean up aspects of his technique. All right, then we got Jackson Smith-Njigba, next corner off the board. Here, I'm gonna move this down. I said next corner, next wide receiver. Ultimately, this guy, it's going to come down to this cat's pro day. I don't think he's nearly as good as an athlete as people want to make him out to be. But he is like one of, if not the best route runners in this class. He's very hard to bring down after the catch, very good after the catch. And I'm curious, like, the combine's going to answer multiple questions. Specifically, what is he as an athlete? And that way, can we at least project that he can win on the outside? Because over 94% of his routes over the course of his career have come in the slot. The other question is the hamstring issue, which, hey, I'm dealing with my own hamstring issue. Is it a soft tissue issue? Why did it specifically keep him out for so long this season? So those are going to be questions. I'm not going to have them nearly as high, But man, we'll find out later on, I guess. And then here's Lucas Van Ness. Know the name. This guy's like a grizzly bear. Not polished yet as a pass rusher. And was more so a rotation player there at Iowa, but he ended up seeing more, I don't think he had a start there this season at Iowa, but he always ended up finishing the game with more snaps than the guys who started. Because you don't want to keep this guy off the field, man. He is just violent, legit grizzly bear, imposes his will, hits blockers with heavy hands. Now, again, not polished yet. Sample size a bit small because it's mostly this season. So, hopefully you want to see his hands get a bit more precise. You want to see a bit more in the way of actual pass rush moves. But it's there for him, man. It really is. All right, Brian Branch here at 23. I can promise you he's going to be higher on my board. Freaking love Brian Branch. I think he's going to test out probably as an above average athlete for the position, which is fine. That's great. It's just he's uber productive. Question will be, can he be more than just a slot guy? Because if teams just view him as a slot player, which to be fair, a large majority of his snaps came in the slot. If teams don't project him as a more than a slot guy, then he's probably going to go later in the draft. He really is. If he slips out of the first round, it won't surprise me if teams just view him as a slot guy. But he is the best tackling defensive prospect in this class. That's right, I said it. Despite 6 foot 193, not an ideal size, but it's not half bad either. Big fan of Brian Branch. This guy's just got a nose for the football. All right, 24 is Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, here comes the next running back. Jahmyr Gibbs, man, dude's lightning quick. He's shown great vision. That was a big thing. Can he show vision between the tackles rather than just trying to bounce the play outside and do work in space? And he did that. He showed that at Alabama. But he is a guy that is so dangerous out in space. He's very dangerous as a receiver. I probably won't have a first-round grade on him, but he's absolutely a top 50 guy for me in this class. All right, number 25, Antonio Johnson. All right, this cat, another thing, often play in the big nickel position. Johnson has good coverage instincts and when diagnosing route combinations. I agree. I think he does a good job of seeing the play unfold underneath. He played more of a traditional role this season. Therefore, A&M, for me, the biggest thing was a lack of splash plays in coverage, but he was very good at just neutralizing plays from his side of the field, just because he was constantly in the area and forcing the quarterback to have to throw away from him. He's got great length. Even if you see him as just a big slot in the NFL, that he could be very successful at that because he's so good around the line of scrimmage. So big fan of Antonio Johnson as well. Just not quite on the just isn't the playmaker Brian Branch is. All right, 26, Drew Sanders. Oh, well, this is the first linebacker off the board too. I wonder if Trenton Simpson's going to be here. Teams are going to love this dude's length. They're going to love his explosiveness and his ability to make plays as a pass rusher and to actually play off ball and have that length to clog passing lanes. He actually had a really good, pretty darn good catch rate when thrown at. I think it was 63.9% this season. The missed tackles, though, were atrocious. They really were something he needs to clean up, but a lot of potential. He's probably going to test out really well as well. All right, number 27, Jalen Duncan. I hate it. No, we could talk about Osiris Torrance in a minute. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it up. All right, Jalen Duncan. Here it is. So on 477 pass blocking snaps, he allowed 28 pressures, 7 sacks, 10 penalties. He was not good this season. He was detrimental, especially when they faced better competition. He struggled. He folded underneath the pressure of better competition. I get it. Teams are going to like the length. They're going to like the movement skills. But for me, he ain't it. He doesn't have the production that tells me he can be it. I'm not taking this guy anywhere close to the first round, and I even hesitate to consider him on day 2. He's more fringe day 2 for me. So I'm widely different on Jalen Duncan. Osiris Torrance, very solid prospect. Probably one of the only interior prospects I think is worth a first round grade or worth a first round pick. I got a first round grade on him. He made the jump to the Power 5 this season and just was too much. No penalties, no sacks. I think he allowed like 8 pressures on the year. Very good run blocker. So like teams that like their guard position is dog water, teams like the Jags, teams like the Bills, I think are going to really consider Torrance. And then, Zach Harrison. This dude's going to test out amazing at the combine. So maybe soften up on the idea that he could go in the first round or he's going to go in the top 50 picks. Because I think it is. He's pretty darn explosive. Not really a lateral athlete. Not a guy that's got great bend to him. But he's got length. He's got strength. He's powerful. He shows a good understanding. Like for his pass rush toolbox, like he uses those moves exceptionally well. A lot of power moves, and he does it exceptionally well. He overwhelmed a lot of guys this season, and I think coming back was a good call on his part because he's going to test out well. It won't surprise me if he sneaks into the first round, but definitely I think he's going to end up top 50. All right. Clark Phillips. Still no Devon Witherspoon. That's interesting. Clark Phillips. Teams are either going to be like, yo, this dude's a slot. He's got slot size. We don't think he could keep up with NFL strength on the outside. Or teams are going to be like, no, this dude's got great ball skills. He reads, he recognizes coverage and route concepts very quickly, and in off-ball zone coverage, he can legit be a difference maker. So I think Asante Samuel Jr., where we saw him slip to the second round, I think that might be the case for Clark Phillips. But Phillips is a really good prospect as well. Right, Zay Flowers. Everyone and their mom's high on Zay Flowers but me. I'm slowly warming up to him. But, man, I find it hard to get over that size. But to be fair, he was a lot more complete as a receiver this season. You saw him fluctuate his speed throughout routes. You saw good route running, crisp route running. This was a cat that just wasn't used solely on vertical routes like he was in 2021. Even in the slot, they were asking him to do a lot of different things. Like typically when I was watching this guy in the slot in 2021, it was screen. It was jet sweep. It was an end around. It was just so much schemed up production that I was like, I can't buy into this cat. However, this year he's much more complete. The lack of size will be concerning, and why probably I won't get into he won't be a first round projection for me. But I love him as a competitor. There's a lot of fight in this tiny little dog. That just sounds like I'm dogging him, but I'm not. Then here's Anthony Richardson here at 32. Listen, Anthony Richardson's going to be this lotto ticket. Like, he's not developed as a passer yet, but he definitely did a lot more things as a passer than a guy like Malik Willis. And I would dare to say he was probably, like, when it comes to being a runner, like, no one was really touching him in that regard. Like, Malik Willis wasn't even nearly this good as a runner, I would say. Because, I mean, you look at the size, you look at the speed, it's this nice combination of Lamar Jackson and Cam Newton, where he's got the body that's durable, that can absorb contact. And I wouldn't say he's nearly as fast or as quick as a Lamar Jackson was, but he's up there in terms of like his breakaway speed is kind of legit. So the question is, who is going to take this lotto ticket and be like, we could hit a home run and get this legit, potentially elite quarterback in the next level, or we could totally strike out on it. Like I think someone's gonna buy into that in the first round. I really do. Do we have anything else? Gonna list out your other rankings? Nah. Now we're just gonna talk crap about Tua. But that's it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below of Todd McShay's a big board. I'll have my own out next week. We're completing prospect rankings. I'm hoping to get that completed by the end of the week. You had tight ends earlier today. You'll get linebackers tomorrow. And then all we'll have left is interior prospects. Offensive interior prospects. There we go. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.